will rape you. They kick me in my belly, they kick me in my backside, and they abused, physically manhandled.
ममता बनर्जी का राजनीतिक संन्यास अभी हो गया है।
क्या गुंडाराज चल रहा है, देश को बेच दिया।
Mamata Banerjee is back on the streets, not in a rally as chief minister, not from a stage of power, but on the ground again. After losing power in West Bengal amid allegations of post-poll violence, she's out there, protesting, speaking, confronting.
Officially, they may, through election commission, can defeat us. But morally, I am telling you that we won the election.
And at first glance, this looks like a leader reacting to defeat. But if you step back, this is not unfamiliar. Long before power, this is exactly how Mamata Banerjee built her politics. From Singur to Nandigram, she wasn't operating from institutions. She was on the streets, leading protests, challenging authority, positioning herself against a system. That phase didn't just win her elections, it defined her political identity. What's interesting is that approach didn't disappear after she became chief minister. Even in power, Mamata Banerjee often operated as if she was still fighting one. There were frequent confrontations with the center, public protests, sit-ins, a constant narrative of resistance. It created a dynamic where governance and agitation existed together. Now, that equation shifts. She is no longer in power, which means no administrative burden, no direct accountability, and complete freedom to return to the kind of politics that first made her relevant. This is not about intent, it's about instinct. Because for years, even while governing, Mamata Banerjee framed her politics around confrontation, often positioning the center as the primary opponent. Now, that opposition is no longer constructed, it's real. But this is not just about Mamata Banerjee. It also changes the equation for the BJP. For a long time, one of the BJP's biggest advantages was the weakness of the opposition. A fragmented field, no single dominant challenger, no sustained counter-narrative. That vacuum often worked in its favor. But in West Bengal, that dynamic may not hold. Because now, the BJP is not facing a divided opposition, it is facing a leader whose entire political career has been built on confrontation and mobilization. And this time, she is not balancing power and protest, she is focused on one. So the question is not just what happens to the state after this election. The question is, what happens when a political leader, whose rise came from resistance, returns fully to that role? This may look like a moment of weakness, but in many ways, it is a return to familiarity. And in politics, sometimes, that's where leaders are most effective.